Hey there, thanks for tuning in today. In this video I'm going to give you the top 5 sort of concerns or worries that generally I've found in my 15 plus years of being a driving instructor, what my students generally worry about. Okay, so the top 5 reasons, make sure you stay tuned to the last one because the last one is the most important one that I want to try and discuss. So stay tuned. Okay, number 1. What my students worry about, what I found over there, say the 15 plus years, is generally the worry about which maneuver they're going to get. Okay, now it's the most common one that probably comes up with the whole thinking it's human nature, because there's 4 possible maneuvers you get on your driving test. Okay, so 4 possible maneuvers, but you only get, remember, 1 maneuver. So the main thing is what human beings we tend to do is we tend to rank them in order of what we'd like them. Okay, so there's a 25% chance of each one, obviously, but it's human nature to go, oh, I'd rather, for example, say the reverse parallel park. I'm brilliant at the reverse parallel park. That's the maneuver that I would like. And you set yourself up thinking, right, if I don't get that, if I don't get the reverse parallel park, I'm going to fail one of the other 3. Just accept that you're going to get 1 maneuver. Okay, you don't have a say over which one. It may not be your favorite maneuver, but that doesn't mean you are going to fail that maneuver. Okay, that is the main thing to consider. Okay, accept you're going to get a maneuver, accept you don't have any control over which maneuver, and just think, right, well, I've practiced them all, and whichever maneuver I get, give it my best shot, knowing that you don't need to get it perfect first time round. You can adjust it if necessary. The examiner will give you time to adjust. And think about the 3 main components with all the maneuvers. It's control of the car. So make sure your car is under control, the speed is correct. Make sure your observations are crisp, are accurate and appropriate to the maneuver. And the accuracy of the maneuver is good as well. Okay, so if you're trying to parallel park, obviously you've got to keep it, try and get it within a grid width or a drains width of the curb. Okay, and if it's one of the reverse bays, you need to get it within those lines. Okay guys, reason number 2 is people worry about the routes. Okay, so they worry about which roads they're going to go in on, they're going to drive on, sorry, on their driving test. Right, now another one is you can't control this. Okay, what ideally you would do with your instructor is you will drive around the test area to familiarize yourself with maybe some of the most common roads or some of the roads which may catch you out on a driving test. As I said, mentally it's a good thing to know where the test center is and roads around, just because mentally you'll feel a little bit more comfortable. But remember, you do not get control of which route and which roads that you drive on. Okay, so lots of students I get, for example, worry about, I'd rather have a maneuver which has a minimal amount of roundabouts, or I'd rather have a route that doesn't cover too many higher speed roads, for example. I don't want to go into a dual carriageway, I want to keep in some quiet side roads, or hope the roads are okay for me. Right, now again, we don't get control of which route. You will practice some roads around the area to familiarize. You can always look online, like for example on my channel I do have a lot of test route videos, so you can familiarize and look around at sort of videos like that. You can obviously do it on your lessons. Familiarize with the area, know that you won't maybe know 100% every single road that you drive on, but like I say to my students is, look at the road, read the road, drive to the conditions. That is all you can do. You do not have control over which route. You may have a preference like I mentioned previously, but you don't get a choice. Drive on that road to the best of your ability, okay, and just drive safely to those conditions. Okay, reason number 3. Right, they worry about the actual examiner themselves. Okay, right, so you don't, again, at risk of repeating myself, you do not get a choice of which examiner to get. Whoever comes out and reads your name, says your name out loud, that is going to be your examiner. Right, now think about it, they're just a human being. Okay, now we all know different people in our lives. Some are more friendly than others, some are more outgoing than others, and that's fine, isn't it? Okay, they're going to be a person, they're going to be who they are. All they're doing is the average Jack or the average Jill, they are doing a job. Okay, they are not out to get you, they're not out to try and trick you. Some people are naturally more friendly than others, some are naturally more outgoing than others. That's how they're going to be. Okay, just accept they're going to be who they're going to be. And are they going to be fair? Right, that's the only thing that I would be concerned about personally if it was a driving test. I'm thinking, right, well, as long as they're fair and they're going to pass me if I drive well, and obviously if I do fail, then make a mistake which is going to make a serious driving fault, then as long as I agree with that situation, and yep, fair enough, I can agree with that. As long as that's the case, as long as they're fair, that's kind of all really I would want from a driving examiner, okay? But people worry about all sorts of things, they want somebody who's young, or they want somebody who's old, or they prefer a man, or they prefer a woman. You don't get a choice over this matter, okay? So accept the examiner's going to be who they are, and just think, you know what, as long as they're fair, that's all I really want from my examiner, isn't it, really? That's the only real concern that I would have as a personal, from a personal point of view. Okay guys, reason number 4. Okay, they worry about all the other drivers on the road for that driving test, okay? Right, now, does the examiner need to mark you on how the other cars drive around you? No, okay? What the examiner's looking for is how you react to everyday situations, okay? So, busy roads, quiet roads, do you drive accordingly? If the road suddenly gets really narrow, do you slow yourself down? Do you adjust your speed accordingly? Do you wait in meeting traffic situations, things like that, okay? You cannot control another driver's reaction on the road. Now, you hope obviously that it's a fairly clear road. You hope there's no idiots, nobody who's there to to test you too much. But remember, this is what an examiner's looking for. They're looking for you to see how you can react in everyday driving circumstances, in everyday driving situations, okay? They're not marking how you drive, say they do something wrong or something like that. They're not looking to mark you on things like that. What they're looking to mark you on is your reaction to how other people drive, okay? So, people sometimes not give way at junctions when they should. They drive a little bit too aggressively, don't make good decisions regarding positioning and things like that. Like I said, you can't control that. All the examiner's looking for is your reaction to it. Is your reaction to that other driver's actions, is it safe and is it legal? All right, just worry about what you're doing. If there's any issue where I've had this on a test, I remember a couple of years ago, it was in one of these traffic calming chicanes where my student had priority and the other car coming the other way should have gave way. Now what happened was the other driver, for whatever reason, in a rush, he was driving some souped up car, flying around the estate. He's come flying through this giveaway, so we'll say the giveaway traffic calming chicane for that driver, and my student had already committed because it was there right away according to the sign. The sign said it was fine. All the examiner did was they actually stopped my student because they could see, they used their greater experience in that situation, they could see that driver wasn't going to stop, basically. All right, so in that moment the examiner took over, but the student didn't fail for that. The examiner afterwards was really good with them. They just pulled them over to the side and said, look, that wasn't your fault. You were doing everything correct in that situation. You have not failed for that scenario. I just took over there because I could see the situation develop and I just lent my greater experience to that situation. Okay? So it's your reaction to the other drivers which is the important factor. This is what the examiner's looking for. But if there's a situation where the examiner needs to intervene because the other driver is going to cause a problem or an accident of some sort, remember, you cannot fail your test for that. It's only if you cause that situation and then the examiner has to intervene. Okay, so we've come to the final reason. Reason number 5, what I would say it's the top reason why people sometimes will fail their driving test even before they started. Okay, now what they do, they put them in a mindset, and what they'll think about, they always think of a consequence. Like, oh, what if I fail this driving test? What will I do? Okay, now the thing is, what you've got to think about is the examiner, when they come out, they'll come out, they've got the little iPad to mark it and everything. Yes, they have. They've got a little booklet, little sort of iPad case or something like that. They've got a sat nav they're going to bring out potentially with them if they're going to follow sat nav. What they come out with in their little sheets is a pass certificate booklet, and they're ready to give you one. They come out with a pass certificate ready to give you it. Now that means they want you to pass. They're not out to fail you. If they were out to fail you, they wouldn't even bring that pass certificate with them, would they? That's the way you've got to think about it. So if you fail your test, which obviously it's a 50-50 possibility, we'll cross that bridge if you have to, because you think about it, just go into the test, think, right, well, I've already passed because I've not given a reason to fail me yet. The examiner has brought out a certificate ready to give me. So let's just think about it like that, right? So think about, if I fail, right, it's a 50% possibility, but I'm not going to think about that unless that situation actually happens. So if I actually fail my test, then I will think about it. But for now, I've basically passed my test, and that's the way I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking I've passed my test already. Let's just concentrate on that factor, okay? If I have to cross a bridge, which means I've failed, I'll cross that bridge if I absolutely have to. But at the minute, the only bridge I'm crossing is that bridge to passing my test, not failing. That's the way you've got to look at it.